So a junior developer in your team has implemented the two-factor authentication feature, and you have been asked to review the code and share your feedback. And the two-factor authentication code are 6 digit in this case. So if we just see this code, we have this API endpoint. First we are checking if the user is authenticated, and then we are extracting what is the code that user has entered, and then we are fetching the user from the database, and then we are checking if the code that the user has entered, if that code is matching with the code that we have stored in the database, and if these two codes are matching, we are allowing the user, and if the codes are not matching, then we are just giving the 401. So this code looks okay, looks correct, but there is an issue with this code. Now you can pause the video and you can try to figure out. Okay, so the first issue is, I think you might have already guessed, is that, so here you can see in this line we are storing the code in the database, but the two-factor authentication code, these codes should be short-lived and it should be temporary code. It should not be the permanent code. That means you should not be using the same code again and again for the same user. So it should be generating randomly and it should be short-lived, and once it has been used, it should be expired, so that every time users logs in, they have to enter a new code. Because the benefit is that if you use randomized code every time, that means even if the code is leaked somehow, suppose that you are using the same code for the same user, then if the code is somehow leaked, maybe some database hack or some other reason, then that same code would have worked and attacker would have get access to the user account. But if you use random code every time, and if you expire the code as soon as you use it, then even if the attacker has got access to the previous two-factor authentication code, it will not work, because every time we generate a new code. So that's the first flaw. And the second flaw is, as I said, that the two-factor authentication code are 6 digit in this case. So if you just do the math here, you can see there is only 1 million possibilities. Okay, and most important thing is that we have not implemented rate limiting here. That means the attacker can easily use the brute force attack, and then within a minute they can correctly guess the authentication code, because there are only 1 million possibilities and you have not added rate limiting. So now the attacker can simply run a script, and then within a minute they will brute force and they will easily guess the two-factor authentication code. This is the very important thing. If you have implemented two-factor authentication system, then make sure that you should add rate limiting to that API, so that you can protect the attackers from unlimited guessing, and that way the attackers will not be able to apply the brute force attack on this API, because this is rate limited. So even if we have only 1 million possibilities, since we have added the rate limiting, so our system is secure, and an attacker will not be able to use unlimited guessing for the two-factor authentication code. So that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. Let me know what you think on this, and as always, thanks for watching.